Summer reading, it's the season. I don't know about you. I remember being a kid and getting that blue button that said book it on it, and you would get those little stars. And every time you filled that pen up with stars, you got to go to Pizza Hut, get a personal pan pizza, and you were looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking
No
about.
clue what you're talking about.
Are you serious?
A pen that said book it?
Yeah, it was like a big pen.
pin,
like
a pin.
Big pin, yeah.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Hey, I'm Brian.
And I'm Scott.
And welcome to the Two Old Fashions podcast, where two friends get together and have a conversation over a cocktail. How you doing tonight, Scott?
Doing all right. It's meteorological summer.
Sure is.
We're into another season. It's
And it actually felt like it this weekend.
What's that?
And it actually felt like it this weekend.
I know. I don't know if you can see on the video for those watching on YouTube, but I got very, very sunburnt on Saturday just sitting at the football fields after my kids play flag football.
Yeah, we had a early soccer game, 8 o'clock, followed by an 11 o'clock soccer game. In between that, we had a Splash Park birthday party and then another birthday party. So we were outside pool all day. We protected ourselves with hats and sunscreen. So, but to be honest, you don't look too red.
In real life, I do, and I'm peeling, and I'm so dry. I was like bleeding a little bit this morning.
Ew.
It's kind of embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
Okay. I'm just putting down my base.
Yes.
So that way, as the summer gets into full swing, I'll be looking, a nice tan.
Well, are you sipping on something to make yourself feel better?
I'm sipping on something that's a nice tan color here.
Okay.
Kept it fairly simple with a secret ingredient that I'll tell you in a second. Woodford Reserve, old-fashioned cocktail syrup, and then the orange and the aromatic Angostura bitters. Secret ingredient tonight is a very freezer-burnt ice cube.
Okay.
I need to make more ice cubes. That Father's Day present we talked about last week, that might come in handy because
there you go. And I assume it's always it's a double.
As always, it's a double. I'm ready to go.
Nice. Well, I went with a different kind of secret ingredient. I saw this as I was scrolling through Instagram, as one does, and this is a Dr. Pepper Old Fashioned.
Oh.
So instead of simple syrup, it's just a little bit of Dr. Pepper. I went with Reveries from down the road at Middleburg, a little bit of cherry bitters, and then I added a little extra cherry juice from my Luxardo cherry jar. So this will be my first sip. So we'll get a accurate. No,
good.
Not a winner. No. I mean, I'm going to drink it, but I wouldn't make it again.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
I do, but it seems like the idea was Dr. Pepper has some cherry, some vanilla that would work. If there are 23 flavors, some would go well with the whiskey. And I don't know maybe I just don't like carbonation in my alcoholic beverages.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind is what's the difference between a Dr. Pepper Old Fashioned and a bourbon and Coke? But I mean, it's not Coke, so that answers that question. But
I get where you're going. Is this actually a cocktail, or is this just
Dr. Pepper used as a mixer for any other drink? The only thing I can think of is a flaming Dr. Pepper, which I think is a shot, and that's with rum, I think.
Yeah. I think you're right, because when I was Googling the recipe for this after I'd seen it originally on social, I did come across the flaming Dr. Pepper, and I thought, we're not going to go that hard on a Monday.
But it's interesting, right? Like cola, that's obviously a popular mixer. You'll hear drinks with Sprites, with ginger ale. I've been known to make some drinks with an orange soda. Okay. I think a grape soda, there's drinks with grape soda, but you don't hear anything about Dr. Pepper.
No. Well, and then the funny thing is, so Mountain Dew was originally made to be a whiskey mixer.
Really?
Yep. That was the origin.
Have you ever had a Mountain Dew and whiskey?
I haven't, so maybe I got to try that.
I think I'm intrigued by that. I haven't had a Mountain Dew, I think, since high school.
All right, we'll do it in an upcoming episode. We'll both do it at the same time.
We're gonna have to do that episode earlier in the night, though, because
that's fair.
It'll get me going.
I do want to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting you going, you went and saw The Boss last week. Is that right?
We saw Bruce Springsteen at Nationals Park. It was supposed to be the final show of his Land of Hopes and Dreams tour, which is basically his big I mean, let's call it what it is, right? It's like a big anti-Trump tour. Um, and he started in Minneapolis because of everything that happened in Minnesota earlier this year, and did it in DC to be symbolic, I guess is the word I'm trying to say. Um, it ended up not actually being the last show because Philly show had to get moved because of a playoff game. Doesn't even matter. But man, he's 77 years old. He's 76. He's about to turn 77. He played for over 3 hours, nonstop. And when I say nonstop, I mean nonstop. Like he takes an encore break by bringing the whole band to the front of the stage, and then they just go back to their instruments. He doesn't even leave the stage. Um, Tom Morello played with him. Tom
Mm.
Morello from Rage Against the
Hmm.
Machine. I've never seen Tom Morello live, and I always kind of think that he's kind of gimmicky.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, did he just rip? And it was just like I was just rocking out. We brought our kids, brought my mother-in-law,
Oh
brought my
wow.
brother-in-law. It was just so much fun. It rained, but the rain was almost like cathartic because he does a lot of this like on stage preaching, right? That's been his shtick for forever. And
Hmm.
with like the rain, it kind of just felt like this spiritual moment. It's just it's unbelievable how good he is. And I know this is gonna sound, I don't know if cliche is the word. It's gonna sound stupid, is what it's gonna sound like. But there's so much divisiveness and angst in this country. And again, I know it sounds stupid and cliche, but if like we could get the entire country, all 300 something million of us, 400 million of us, however many there are, into one big gigantic concert venue to just listen to music, everyone would get along that much better. Because like, yes, I mean, it's in DC. DC is what, like 92% Democratic. Again, everyone knew what they were getting into by going to this concert, but like everyone was there just like having a great time. Nobody cares what anyone's politics are. Everyone's just singing along, having so much fun. Music is a great healer and a great uniter. And I think that was the main theme of this 3 hour show, was just let the music unite us. And I know you said you saw Bruce at a political rally 12 years ago or so.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's going to tour again. I just, he might tour by himself. I find it hard to believe he's going to be able to bring the E Street Band out again when they're all in their late 70s. But who knows? I just got to say, you got to go see him. Like anybody listening to this who has not seen him, you got to go see him because it's unbelievable what he's able to do at his age.
And you mentioned Morello. Like, how many people are in the E Street Band? Like, I think I saw some pictures. There's a lot of people up on stage, right?
Yeah, so I mean, the real E Street Band, I want to say there's like seven or so. But then he has a horn section. So there's like five players playing like a trumpet and a
Hmm.
trombone and a tuba and like all that and a sax. And then he has, I don't know, like five backup singers, right? So then he has the choir to the
Yeah.
side. And then he's got like another percussionist. So you got Max Weinberg on the drums, but then you got a percussionist as well. And you got a fiddler. And like, it's just like, again, 22 people are in the band right now.
Which, like, to me, just makes it that much more impressive because you have 22 people going for 3.5 hours with energy, being
Yeah.
coordinated, like in sync. And I think that helps add to that feeling that you mentioned of everybody being together. It's one thing if there's one super talented person on stage that's got 3.5 hours of energy, but for them all to come together and perform like that,
And it's
having not seen it, just sounds impressive.
it's all choreographed, right? Like, they come out and they do like their little routine during certain songs, like, but it's like so well done, so fun.
Yeah.
And even just, it's like the silliest things that make a difference. But the time on the tickets at 8 o'clock, he comes out at 8 o'clock. There's
Mm.
no like waiting around, there's no opener. It's not like 8:10. No, it's eight
Yeah.
o'clock. He comes out. The screens that they use, I don't know what K definition these screens are. It's like 12K. I mean, they're the size of a skyscraper. They're huge, and it's crystal clear. And you can see just these vibrant colors. It's all just so well done. Everything about it is so well done.
All right. Highly recommend if he's not done touring.
He is the boss for a reason. And
I don't think somebody like him could just finish a tour and then be like, we're done. And we go back to the marketing of it all. He would have to have a farewell tour.
I,
Have to.
I don't think he's done. I think he will play until he dies.
Okay.
And I think I've said this before though, and I've been proven wrong. It just feels like when you have a bunch of late 70-year-olds. I mean, Max Weinberg, he's had heart surgery. Okay, he's the drummer. He's drumming for 3 hours out in the humidity. You see just the sweat pouring down his face. How much longer can he do that?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe
medical
longer. I
merit.
hope
I mean, the
longer.
Rolling Stones are like what, 112?
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, I haven't seen the Rolling Stones, so I can't comment on real life. I can only comment on what I've seen on TV and YouTube. They're not doing what
Yeah,
the E Street
fair.
Band's doing.
That's fair.
I mean, Pearl Jam, we've talked about Pearl Jam a little bit. They're my favorite band. I think they are the best live band of all time. Bruce Springsteen is like 20 years older than Eddie Vedder, and Bruce is putting more into the show now than Eddie Vedder is.
Although Eddie switches it up night after night. Sounds like Bruce has
Bruce
the run
used
of
to. This
show.
is this is the first tour where he has kept a very static set list. There's
Okay.
been like maybe one or two changes very early on, and it's been static since. And part of that, I think, is probably because of their age. But
Yeah.
part of it is because he's trying to send like this message, and it's a curated set list that goes along with the message he's trying to send.
Gotcha. That tracks. Well, that does transition well to the album you picked out. You want
Yes.
to talk about it?
Yeah. So last week I suggested that we both listen to the new Bleachers album, which is called "Everyone for 10 Minutes." I had not listened to it. I wanted to. Brian, you had not listened to it. I don't know if you wanted to or not. Um, and I don't. Let me ask this before I even go into it. Have you listened to the Bleachers at all? Did you know any of their stuff?
Not really. I mean, I
Okay.
knew of them. I'm sure, through the Spotify playlists and algorithms and stuff, I'm sure they've come up. I
Yeah.
definitely remember the Fun album, Jack Antonoff being the through line there. But I can't say I've top to bottom listened to any Bleachers albums until this one, which I did listen to like 5 or 6 times because I
Yeah.
wanted to be prepared.
So the Bleachers again, like I find them very like they pump me up a little bit, which is kind of funny after you've listened to this album, which doesn't have that many pump up songs. But they do, some of their songs really do pump me up, and I use them to like kind of kickstart my nights sometimes. But I've tried to listen to their albums before, and they're very hit or miss. Like
Okay.
on a 12-song album, there'll be like 4 or 5 songs that I think are amazing, and the other 50% I'm just completely bored by. And then I listened to one of their live albums. And you listen to the live albums, and every single song on the live album just goes. And even the songs that I thought were boring on the albums, when you listen to them live, they like are really they're done differently, and they're really
Okay.
they got a good beat and stuff, and they really get you going.
Because that was going to be my question. If they played the bangers and then left off some of the slow songs, but you're saying live, they do
Even some of
them
the
differently enough that it
yeah
works. Okay.
yeah. Now I had read some reviews of this album, and it said like this was the first album by the Bleachers where they get it right. Like the slow songs are still good, the fast songs are still good, like everything's good, the production's really good. So I was really excited to listen to this.
Okay.
And I have to say, I think I listened to it 3 times. Feel the exact same way. There's like 5 songs I really like. There are 7 songs that are putting me to sleep. I was not super impressed.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a miss,
Yeah.
honestly. Again, not knowing a lot about them, there wasn't much that stuck out.
Yeah.
It started out, I thought, rather slow. There's a funny line I thought about New Jersey kids not knowing how to pump gas. That made me laugh.
Hmm.
We had talked a little bit about Dirty Wedding Dress before. I thought that, and then the one right after it, Take You Out Tonight, were just both homages to Bruce Springsteen. Like
Yeah.
that, they sounded like they could have been Bruce Springsteen songs, or they
Yeah.
wanted to be. The one that stood out to me that I liked the best was actually a slower one called Dancing. That one was my favorite.
Yeah, I like that one. Um, I made some notes here. We've talked about this with albums, I think, over the past few weeks. I'm kind of big on the full like album listening experience of track listings, and track
Yep.
order is important to me. I thought Sideways, which is the first track on the album, was a terrible opening song.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last song on the album, which was called Upstairs at ELS being Electric Lady Studios,
Oh,
um, I thought that was maybe one of the 2 best songs on the album, and that should have been the opener. I think that's a really like cool song about nostalgia, and it just felt very summery. I really like that song. Dirty Wedding Dress is probably my other favorite. That one just gets stuck in my head a lot. That's the song I use to pump myself up
Okay.
when I watch YouTube. Uh, the other thing I'll say is like Jack Antonoff, who's known, I think, more for his production than he is for his music at this point, right? He's Taylor Swift's producer. He's Sabrina Carpenter's producer. He's done a lot of big albums. I think the production stinks. You can't hear what he's saying half the time, and I think it's on purpose.
Okay.
But like he's mumbling, and you just can't really understand the lyrics. You have to read the lyrics along with it to really understand what he's saying on most of the songs.
And I did do that today, to your point. Like Dirty Wedding Dress, I was like, I don't know what he's saying. So I did, and it helped. It
Yeah.
didn't make that song, a pump me up type song. A lot of the ones weren't pulling up through Spotify, so I was the lyrics weren't even there. I guess I could have gone to Genius or something. But
Yeah.
I'm with you. It felt, I don't want to say unfinished, right? Because that's probably what they were going for. But
Yeah.
it felt like some demo tracks that they put together and said, here you go for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was really 40.
The other thing I'll say, and then we can stop talking about this. I don't know if you noticed this. You might have had to have listened, or might have had to have read the lyrics to have noticed this. But for the first like 7 songs, he references the song before it, like the song that comes before it, in the song that he's singing. Does that make sense?
I do like that. I didn't notice it, but I like that
Yeah.
device.
So like whatever song number 3 is, I can't remember what song number 3 is, but like he talks about the van, which is number 2.
Mhm.
And in song number 4, which is you and forever, you me and forever, or whatever, like he talks about song number 3. Like
Okay.
and it happens for the first 7 songs or so, which I think might be why he did the track listing the way he did.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gives it like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying.
It's impressive, but then why didn't he do it throughout the whole thing?
I don't know.
Why stop at track
I don't
7?
know, but he does
Just give
stop.
up?
It
Yeah.
ends.
Okay.
So maybe it's like a mini story. I don't know, but I don't know. If you're willing to give the Bleachers another try, I would say listen to Live at Radio City Music Hall.
Okay.
Or actually, no, sorry. Well, that's okay, but Live at Madison Square Garden is actually better. That's the one that actually got me hooked on the Bleachers.
All right. I will try. I will say one time I listened, right? And then Spotify gives you another song afterwards. And it was a Bleacher song. It's like, oh, this is the best song on the album. And then I realized it's not on this album.
Yeah.
So that would probably be on your Madison Square shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? They're not all going to be hits, but
No.
I'm glad I did it. I probably wouldn't have otherwise. And now I've got another assignment.
All right. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to our album for this week. But we'll do
Yes.
that at the end, right?
Yes, we will.
All right.
So, speaking about assignments, we thought we might talk about reading. Summer reading. It's the season. I don't know about you. I remember being a kid and getting that blue button that said book it on it, and you would get those little stars. And every time you filled that pen up with stars, you got to go to Pizza Hut, get a personal pan pizza, and you were looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking
No
about.
clue what you're talking about.
Are you serious?
A pen that said book it?
Yeah, it was like a big pen.
pin,
Like
a pin.
Big pin, yeah.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I mean, do you remember the Book It program?
No.
Wow. That's really sad. Yeah. This was some kind of combination between people wanting to be literate and Pizza Hut, where in elementary school, for every 5 books you read or so, you would get to mark it off on the sheet or your pen and then go in to Pizza Hut and get a personal pan pizza.
Okay.
Yeah. It was amazing. Got me reading.
And so how many pizzas would you eat or would you get like throughout the summer, right? Like how many books are you reading?
I mean, depending on the age, like 5, 10? We would
You
go
would
to the
go all the
library like every Monday, I think. Get a bunch of books, read through them, then go cash out on Friday nights.
I mean,
I really feel bad that you missed this crucial element of childhood.
Well, we didn't really go to Pizza Hut that much growing up. We would just order Domino's. I don't know if that is, that doesn't make a difference, but yeah, we didn't do that. I don't know. I never even heard of that program. Maybe they didn't have that in Northern Virginia.
I mean, they had it in Richmond.
I guess.
So,
Um,
but anyways, we still wanted to talk about some reading.
yeah.
Despite the performance on last week's podcast, I am literate. I don't know if everybody knows that.
Wait. Do we need to just like clear up what happened last week?
No,
No.
let the mystery continue.
Let the mystery be, like the leftovers. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, in general, like, I don't know, what do you find yourself reading? This was your idea. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So Well, reading, I've always wanted to read more. I've
Okay.
always wanted to read more ever since forever, I think. I've always wanted to read more. And I'll go in like waves where sometimes I'll be just like big into reading and sometimes I kind of fall out of favor with it. I try to read before I go to bed every single night. And what tends to happen is I will get like 3 pages in and then my eyelids get very, very heavy. And it ends up taking me like literally months to finish a 200-page book because I can only read like 2 to 3 pages at a time. I rarely ever like sit down on the couch in an afternoon and read.
Right.
Um, but I like reading everything. I like reading nonfiction. That's probably my favorite. I like these really big. Again, we talked about with the TV shows, like world building novels. So Game of Thrones, right? Like you build this gigantic
Hmm.
world in those books. I read those books. Took me years because those are big books. Actually, right when the pandemic started, I started a project to read all of the Tom Clancy, Jack Ryan books.
Oh, wow.
And like those Tom Clancy books, each one's like 1,000 pages. So that was what, spring of 2020. I just finished that project like 2 months ago. It's 11 books.
I
Took
mean, at 3 pages a night, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it took forever. Um, but yeah, like I feel like when I read, I get a little smarter, and it does kind of just like slow my brain down a little bit and help me relax, and obviously it helps me fall asleep.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing more of that. My wife's a big reader at night, so I've kind of started doing that after we watch her show. I typically, in the past, I would say I was more of a short form. Like,
Hmm.
I'm big on magazines, right? Like, I love Garden and Gun magazine, Bourbon and Plus. You just kind of get these articles, 5, 10 pages, pictures. Pictures are great.
Yeah.
But I think over the years, I have found some books that really like resonated with me, and I have been doing more. I think the fiction books I think are better for me at night to kind of like fall asleep. But I don't know. I thought we were supposed to come with like a list of books that we wanted to recommend, so
Okay.
I did that. But
No,
I don't
I
know
want
if
to hear
that's
these
where we
books.
want to go with this.
Well, I might need a new book. I got gifted a book by my brother-in-law. It's called The Last Kingdom, and
Okay.
this is another one of these big world building books. It's not that long of a book. It's like 300
Hmm.
pages, but I guess there's 11 of them in the series, and he might even still be writing more. I don't know.
Wow.
It takes place in like the 800s in England. I don't know. I'm reading it. I'm reading 3 pages a night. I'm sorry, Chris. I can't. I have no clue what's happening. I have no clue what's happening, and probably part of it is because I'm reading 3 pages a night, and I can't remember what happened the night before. But I might need a new book, so I'm looking forward to some recommendations.
All right, so I categorized mine. So we'll just start with some business books that I thought were interesting. So I really like learning about how companies got started, I think, especially
Mhm.
in kind of the tech space. So one was called Googled by Ken Auletta. That
Okay.
one was just kind of about the founding of Google, obviously. Another one called Hatching Twitter
Mm.
by Nick Bilton, who actually just got named the new head of CBS News. So he's been a tech
Oh,
reporter for years. I think that'll be really interesting. And then there was one called Careless People by Sarah Wynne Williams. She was an early Facebook employee, kind of on the public affairs and PR side, and just kind of very interesting journey through the growing of a platform that most of the world uses at this point.
okay.
On the more fun side of business, one that really resonated with me recently is called Unreasonable Hospitality. This
Okay.
was by Will Guidara, I believe, and he was under the person Danny Myers that started Shake Shack, and then he went on to start this very well-known, or maybe I don't know if he started it, but basically took it from smaller to bigger, 11 Madison Park. And it's really just about hospitality industry, treating people well, what kind of memories people have when they come to your establishment. So I just think from a, somebody who likes to host parties and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
like it kind of stuck out. A couple more just on the business side, but more focused on bourbon. Bourbon Empire by Reed Mittenbuehler and the new Fred Minnick book, Bottom Shelf Bourbon. Both of those, I think, were really, really well done. One is all about kind of the history of bourbon, the empire, the prohibition, everything coming out. And then the Fred Minnick book is really about his journey with PTSD, coming out of the army, and how coming to accept and understand his sense of taste. And it really gave him a passion. And he was trying to just go through the history of the Chessman series of bourbon.
Okay.
One last one I will throw out in that list, just because it is around Father's Day. We had our list last
Yeah.
week. I would suggest this book for anybody to give to their dad, to a son, to a friend. It's called Pappyland by Wright Thompson. He's a sports journalist for ESPN, but this book, it's really not that much about bourbon, but it's really about the family, the legacy, and what they put together to make what is probably the best known American bourbon, or all American. All bourbon is American, but
Yeah.
very well known Pappy. So I'll just throw those out there. That one would be a recommendation for a Father's Day gift.
Um, those all sound very, very interesting. And yeah, like we back to the Father's Day conversation about gifts, getting gifts, right? Like one of my favorite gifts to receive is a book because there's so many books and like every book you just mentioned, I'd never heard of any of them,
Hmm.
right? So like if somebody's listening and is trying to think of something to buy me as a gift, right? Like that would be a nice surprise. And that's why books are so fun because, well, I can buy myself whatever I want. Like there's probably a lot of books that I don't know that I want.
Yeah. Well, and the Pappyland one I got it as a gift from my friend Pat. I loved it so much. I gave it as a gift to a client. So yeah,
Yeah.
just keep it going.
On the topic of business books, the best business book I've ever read, and I recommend it to anyone, is called Good to Great. It's by a guy named Jim Collins.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that book?
I've heard of it. Yes.
So I was stuck in the airport like 20 years ago, flying home after Thanksgiving, and my flight was delayed and delayed and delayed. And I went to the bookstore and just, I don't know, that book was on a shelf and I just bought it totally random, having no idea it's one of the most famous business books of all time. But it has this concept of like when you are running a team, make sure that you just bring on the right people. Don't worry about what role they're in.
Mm.
Just bring on good people. And the like analogy he uses is you're a bus driver. Just get the people on the bus. Who cares where they sit? You can figure out the seating arrangement later. I read that book 20 years ago. I use that story in like any job interview I'm ever on. Like whenever I do like mentoring, I talk about that. Like that has given me so much material. That one book that I randomly read in an airport one day. So if you're trying to get ahead in the business world, Good to Great. That's the
Love that.
secret.
Very good. Any other kind of books that you've read in the last 20 years just kind of stick out as, helping you personally, work, career, well, work and career are the same thing, but like
Yeah.
fatherhood, anything like that?
Probably. I don't know. Nothing really jumps out at me. I mean, I would say Good to Great is probably the biggest impact on my life. Um, but like books that I loved that I still go back to, Moneyball, right?
Mm.
Like Moneyball, all the Michael Lewis books, really. They're also good. The Big Short being another one, but Moneyball especially ties the love of sports with business and analytics and things like that. I think that's so fun. Um, yeah, as much as I do read, not that much it sticks out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard. My wife was joking. She was like, "You and Scott are going to talk about reading? Like, what are you going to talk about?" And I was like, "Well, I went through my Kindle, and that like it brought back memories of different books, right? Like some maybe I got 20 pages in and was like, you know what, this just isn't for me. And then others was like, oh, I forgot I really liked that one. So it's kind of a fun trip down memory lane and kind of the mix of the nonfiction and the fiction. Like some of the ones I like to read when I'm going to go to bed, honestly, are the ones that are just like random, like
Yeah.
character driven fiction, right? Like just here's a story. I like some mysteries, but something like from last year, The Wedding People and Bad Summer People. Those were just like random stories about interesting characters that take place in beautiful places with interesting storylines. Like that's kind of my go to bed stuff.
So I already figured out what my answer is to your question. My favorite book of all time. I can't believe I didn't even think about it when you asked me the first time. It's called The Summer of '98.
Okay.
It's by Mike Lupica.
Mm.
Mike Lupica being a sports writer for the New York Times or New York Post, one of those. I
I
don't
actually
know.
think the Post,
Is it
but
the
yeah.
Post? Okay. And it's about him and his son watching baseball in the summer of 1998, which was the year that Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa are
Hmm.
are going for the home run title. It's also the year that Kerry Wood struck out 20 batters in one game. There's also some of the Cal Ripken streak in there as well. And it's really just all about how baseball, which was in the doldrums after the strike of 94, and their popularity was completely in the toilet, how much fun it was that summer. And I love that book, and I've lost that book. I don't know where it is in my many moves. I've lost it. And have you ever gone to the store Second and Charles?
Nope.
It's not too far from where we live. It's actually one of my favorite places to go and bring the kids. It's a used everything store,
Huh.
used everything, but the main focus is used books. And they had like two copies there when we went a couple months ago, and I was showing my son. I was like, "Oh, this is the book. This is the book. Like, we got to get it." And whenever we go there, because the books are like $2, I tell them they can get like two books or whatever. And I said, "Look, like, I'll get this for you, right? I'll get this for you." And he looked at it. He wasn't interested. It kind of killed me. And I was like, I'm just gonna buy this just so I have it. And I don't know, I didn't. I was just like so disappointed that my kids didn't want to read it.
I mean, sounds like that would be a great Father's Day gift for them to go back and get that for you.
Sure would be if they're listening, and I
Yeah,
know they're our listeners.
they are. I know. I was thinking I don't have many sports books. Like I remember growing up, Matt Christopher. Do you remember
Yeah,
those
yeah.
books? Like, that. Looking at my shelf, I do have The Only Way I Know by Cal Ripken, which was a
Mm-hmm.
great
I have that too.
biography. One of my friends gave me one called The Bronx is Burning. I believe that was about the Yankees. I never read it. Friday Night Lights. Probably should try that one. So I think I would like to find a good sports book because I haven't quite. So that may be the one. I
The-
do often think, kind of going back to reading magazines and articles and stuff, like I would just love a compilation of all the Thomas Boswell columns from the 2019 Nats.
yeah.
I would read that in a heartbeat.
So they did come out with a book, and it was another post writer. It wasn't Boswell, but it was about the 2019 season of the Nats. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think I have it, but
I
isn't it
have.
mostly looked to me like it was like a coffee table book? Like it was mostly pictures.
No, no, no. They have a real book.
Oh, okay.
And I'm drawing a blank on what it's called, but that does exist. That's kind of fun to read, just to reminisce about the good times. Um, oh yeah, I lost it. I was going to tell you something else, but it'll come back to me in a second.
Yeah. So, you mentioned you want to do a little
Oh,
bit more reading this summer.
yeah,
Like,
what I was going to say. So you were talking about short form, and it goes along with Thomas Boswell. They have it's like an anthology called The Greatest. I think it's called like The Greatest Sports Stories of the Year, something along those lines. And it's a volume that comes out every single year, and
hmm
they have a curator, a different curator. It's usually another sports writer, and he pulls together like the 15 or so, 20, I don't know, best articles. They're long form articles. Each one's about 10 pages
yeah.
of the year, and I collect those. So on my bookshelf, I
Hmm.
have dating back to probably like 2013 or so. I have them all in a nice row. I haven't read every single article, but that's a fun where you just pick one out. Every
Yeah.
single one of those stories, it's like very engaging and engrossing, and you can really get lost in them. But that's a fun like a fun book to seek out if you're just wanting something a little quicker and easier, but you want to be moved.
Yeah. Any music books stand out to you? I can't think of any.
I've read so many. I don't like the autobiographies. I usually don't like the
Okay.
autobiographies, especially the ones where they try to write in their own voice.
Mm.
So, like Dave Grohl's, did you read his?
Mm-mm.
I felt like he was screaming at me the entire time, just like Dave Grohl is like standing on stage reading his book to me. The Bruce Springsteen autobiography, same thing, right? Like he's writing the way he talks, and it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of obnoxious. Brandy Carlisle's autobiography, that was kind of interesting because she ties all her stories to her lyrics.
hmm
So I found that kind of interesting. But yeah, just like overall strong music book.
Yeah. Nothing.
There's some really good Beatles books. I'll say that. If you want to like do a big deep dive on the Beatles, there's some really thick history of the Beatles that really gives you every single detail you could possibly ever want. Those are interesting if you're a big Beatles nerd like I am.
Hmm.
But that's probably the only one I can think of where I would read that and just really feel like I'm learning a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah. Like I said, none on my shelf, but I like. It feels like somebody should nail that, right? Like I don't know if it's fiction or nonfiction. It just needs to be like a great music
I
book.
mean, I feel like the issue with music books at this point is everything you could want to know about an album or a band or song,
Mm,
right? It's all out there on Wikipedia.
yeah.
Like I'll tell you, Aerosmith.
Or TikTok.
Aerosmith is one of my favorite bands, and there's never been a good Aerosmith book. There've been a couple, but none of them are any good. I've read
Mm,
a few of them,
yeah.
and I keep like waiting for somebody to write that Aerosmith book, and then I realize I'll just go on Wikipedia. It'll tell me everything I could possibly want. Like, why do I need to read a book?
Yeah. I feel like this is not the lesson we wanted to end with.
No, it's not.
Do more reading,
Do
people.
more reading. Don't
Yes.
read on your phone.
No. I
Are
think
you a Kindle guy? You said you're a Kindle guy. Do you read on your Kindle more, or do you read physical copies?
at this point, because it's in bed trying to fall asleep, it's typically Kindle. I remember it was funny, when we first had kids and we went to the pool, right? And I brought like a couple magazines and a book, and my wife was like, "Are you crazy? Like, we have to watch them 100% of the time." I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, okay." So I think we're getting to the point, though, this summer we could do a little bit of reading on the beach, things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, I just don't have the opportunity to read too much during the day.
yeah,
So every once in a while, like a friend of mine gave me one of her hardback books. So I started it and then I ended up finishing it on the Kindle. So
yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Libby app. You can link it to
That's the
your
library app, right?
public library. Yeah. And so you can get these books. The only problem is you get them for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
And so you really got to hustle.
yeah. It wouldn't work for me. Although,
Well,
like they don't have late fees anymore, right? I mean, I don't even know how it works with e-versions, but
they just take it away. It just goes.
it just goes away.
Yes.
But you can
There's
go
apparently some ways you can maybe turn the Kindle off, like brick it, like take it away from Wi-Fi and
a
it'll
lot.
stay.
Yeah,
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 it feels awkward.
yeah,
So you get like 6 kind of in reserve at a time. The only problem is it seems like 2 always come at the same time, and then I'm like, which one do I choose? And then I don't finish either.
yeah.
But oh well. All right. Well, I think at the end of the day, we at least proved to everybody we are literate and we can read. We choose to read, and we had some ideas.
I like it. Do you want to set a goal? Like, how many books do you want to read this summer?
Ooh.
Should we set it low and
No.
just say one?
All right. I mean, yes. All right. Let's do it. I'll do one.
I'm going to say I'm going to do one as well, and I'm not going to include the book I'm reading right now.
Okay. I was gonna say
Um,
I'm finishing one up right now. It's called The Summer of '69 by Aaron Hillenbrand. This is one of those ones, takes place in 1969. The war is going on, Vietnam is going on, and it just looks at this one family in like Martha's Vineyard in Nantucket. It's fun, light reading. It's kind of a nice little period piece. So I think I'm about 2/3 of the way through that. What I want to do next is called How to Rule the World by Theo Baker. So
Okay.
this goes back to the nonfiction. He is the son of 2 well-known journalists, I believe, based out of New York, but he goes to Stanford. He ended up being I think, the editor at the Stanford newspaper, or at least worked there all 4 years. So wrote a lot. But basically, this is all about how Silicon Valley comes in and recruits these freshmen and sophomores at Stanford. And like, if you aren't recruited by the time, like, basically, if you finish school, you're seen as less worthy because you didn't get pulled off to start a different project and
Oh,
all this stuff. The one quote I saw from the review was he was like, I had more dinners with billionaires than I did dates in my 4 years in
oh,
college. So
interesting. Okay, that
I think
sounds
it'll be
pretty
an
cool.
interesting one.
Yeah.
So I will commit to finishing that this summer.
Okay. Well, I will pick a different book once I finish this one, and then we can share our results at the end of the summer.
All right. Sounds good. You ready for the album of the week?
I'm so ready.
All right. So I'm taking a little bit of a left curve,
Okay.
left turn, sideways curve. I don't know. Trying something new. I doubt you've heard of this band before. They are called Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. I thought this would be fun since
I've
we
not heard
are
of them.
neighbors. I actually discovered Drew Holcomb on a bourbon podcast maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Singer songwriter out of Tennessee, often performs with his wife, Ellie. My wife and I saw them perform together at Birchmere. But like this album, Strangers No More, this was kind of coming out of the pandemic, and it's really fun. They've got a song called like Dance with Somebody. It got good summer vibes, so I think it will kind of help you kick off this month of June.
All right.
That is my hope, at least.
Drew Holcomb and
Yes,
say it one
The
more time.
Neighbors,
Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, and the album is called
Strangers No More.
Okay. And it's just like singer-songwriter?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. I will give it a listen.
A little bit folky, somewhere between folk and pop.
Okay.
So
That's right up my alley.
I hope you enjoy.
I hope I enjoy it.
All right. Well, this has been fun as always, Scott.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to finish my drink and go read 3 pages of The Last Kingdom.
I can't wait. Well, cheers.
Cheers. We'll talk to you
All right.
later.
See you out there.